I messed up on one.
EVE Online.
What's another?
Knights of the Old Republic.
That's a good one.
Prince of Persia. Sands of Time. Manhunt. Katamari Damacy. You might be wondering, why are we reading all these games names? Well, I have right here
our sponsor this week.
Our sponsor. An illustrated history of the top 151 video games. Something amazing before the show started that I saw. When you open up the section
I love how this book is really cool, but all we did is rename it.
When you open up the section of the 90s, get this. I'm flipping through looking for Final Fantasy because I like Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
I like those games. And what have I always said? Final Fantasy VI sucks. And guess what? This book has Final Fantasy V in this book.
Where's 6 at?
And you know what? I kept flipping, and I kept flipping, and I kept flipping.
Couldn't find 6.
And I found Final Fantasy VII is in this book. 6 isn't in this book.
Okay, hold on.
Proof.
There's your source.
Real quick, I just want to know, is that like 1 to 150, like 1 being the best?
This is chronological order. No. So they told the history of video games, and they put 5 in there, and they put 7 in there. They didn't put 6.
Stop the podcast and read that.
Read what?
No, actually, I was going to say quit our podcast and watch that. But you know what? We are the video form of that. Yeah, we are the DweeBros.
No, we're going to take... And they even got Final Fantasy Tactics in here. They even got Tactics. They got Tactics, they got 5, they got 7. I'm over it. It's over. Final Fantasy VI, you're dead.
So
you're in the gutter. You're gone.
What I'm saying is burn the books.
Burn the books.
Because you are now a part of the DweeBros podcast.
Welcome.
I am Dweebo. Owner of this
YouTube. You're not DweeBro?
I rent this YouTube space out. Together we're
That
DweeBros.
makes so much more sense now.
That makes more sense.
I did not know
We're here with
that.
you. We're your bros.
Yeah.
You're DweeBo.
You get the name, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He's got it.
You know,
I rent this space on YouTube. What the frick was that?
I don't know. It came off of the book.
See, you don't get that with video. Flying projectiles. So I do a little gaming stuff on here. I haven't done it a little bit, but we've done some cool podcasts and some cool E3 reactions. You know what? You can retire on that, all those E3 videos.
Oh my gosh.
But I might come out of retirement Jay-Z style. You never know.
Our next E3 reaction is going to be on Tidal. Tidal exclusive.
Tidal exclusive.
Tidal exclusive.
No, I do video stuff. Video game stuff. Videos on video games. Go ahead.
I thought we would gotten better at this whole thing.
No, we have.
I mean,
we're falling forward or upward. How do they say?
We're making progress. I don't care. We're making progress.
We're making progress.
I'm Werewolf. Oh! AKA Jacob Ware. It's always good to have you guys here, hanging out with us.
I'm Travis. I play games. I'm on this couch every month. If you've been here, you know me. If you haven't, now you know me.
There we go.
End of story.
Boom. But let's jump right into our topics this month. You know what?
Syria.
Kind of a...
Syria.
We got some major...
Have you heard of a man, Donald Trump? Well, we're not going to talk about him. We're going to talk about video games this month. And you know what? We were looking at the list. Not much. There's some... I think there's smaller topics. You know what? Quality over quantity, I think, this month.
Quality over quantity.
Because I think there's...
That's how I am with my women. Why not be that way with my games?
Yeah.
Quality over quantity.
I just want to play video games. Can we just do that?
You know what? I'm into video games.
Yeah.
So our first video game came out...
The biggest one of the month, hands down.
Well, actually it came out 31st of June, actually.
Don't be that guy.
I'm so mad right now.
I played it, and it's called Crash
mad.
Bandicoot, the Insane Trilogy.
Insane Trilogy.
Okay, hold on. I gotta stop you here. This man is an absolute nutball.
He's an animal.
Okay? We said...
This guy is an animal.
This game came out, and he was texting us in the group chat talking about how, man, childhood memories. Guys, 2 days later, he beat Crash 1.
He didn't just beat it.
He 100%ed it.
Not Crash 1.
He 100%ed Crash 2, 48 hours after the game release.
And so,
I love it.
We're sitting here thinking,
I barely booted it up. And
I've never 100%ed a game in my life.
Not like that. Not a game like that.
And so I'm sitting there thinking, you just beat Crash, all 3 of them, 100%ed it. How do you feel?
Like a prince. Like a little gaming prince. No, This so when they first showed this, I'm gonna go back a little bit. The Insane Trilogy, when they first showed this, it was kind of like, hey, we're making this game. It's gonna be, the same
They
people
didn't even show anything.
and
at
it
E3,
was like
they just said.
I was like, we're gonna remake all 3 games. I was like tight, and they were like, and he's gonna be in Skylanders. I was just like, oh.
And they showed that footage of Skylanders. He looked terrible.
Yeah, he looked pretty
Looked like a
weird.
mangy rat.
Yeah, like they let Crash out of the freaking basement after all these years.
It's like if you're a Dollar General and you see like a plush toy and they tried to make it look like Crash.
It didn't look right.
Just so they.
The eyes are kind of off-centered.
But they so they updated it, so there was more footage I think at PSX or something, and they updated the look, and I was like, okay, I'm in. This looks dead on what the old one was, kind of reimagined. So the game came out, and ooh, I loved it. So these I don't know how far along you've played in them, but they are to me 1-to-1 feeling like the original, because I grew up with the original games. Crash Bandicoot 2 was my first PS1 game I ever played, and my favorite PS1 game I ever played, and it plays just like I remember. Like my visions, like all my memories come flooding back. Seeing the penguins on the running back and forth, the polar bear stuff on the second one. But all of them feel just like they kind of did. And I did read something interesting. I guess they did tweak the first Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
Did you read anything on that?
Yeah. So just for my history with this whole thing, I played Crash 1 and 2 last year on my PS3. On just the digital PS1 version for the first time. I'd never played those, and they are hard. They are really hard. Which the new ones are hard also. Yeah. But I did notice the jump animation. I mean, obviously they had to recreate it. They shortened the arc and they changed a little bit. Like things when you don't hang off of edges quite the same as you did in the original. But to me, that's like a very small difference. Yeah. Because visually, the structure of all the levels and all the moveset stuff, they were extremely faithful. So they tweaked little things.
They nailed. I believe that hardcore fan. I think they nailed it. They nailed the feeling of it. I did read when they were talking about that. The reason they did that, because I was like, why'd they change the first one a little bit? And I guess they had to go with when they were making the game, they used that same Crash or whatever. They wanted to make it feel similar or whatever, and they basically did an average of all of them and gave that one kind of that feeling the way it played. Yeah. Which makes sense. I mean, they had to.
My only other thing, and I would love to hear your impressions. I know you're playing it, but this game releasing makes me wonder, what is a remaster versus a remake? Because to me,
did they call this one a remaster?
Some people have been calling
it's a remake.
It's a remake.
Yeah,
round up.
Here's,
but there are a lot of people calling it a remaster. I've seen debate of, is this a remaster?
I don't think there's a debate. There's not.
No, it's a remake.
It's a remake. I wanted to make sure I'm not crazy.
No, remasters to me are texture replacements.
Yeah, you
when they took
this existing game and the code and you're adjusting
textures and the resolution.
Yeah, or maybe you're fixing some glitches.
The remake is new assets.
Yeah.
When you have a new asset,
new engine,
it's
a completely different game.
That's a remake. I don't.
I just think when you look at the intro, when the intro starts up, you have the PS1 version of Crash walking in, and it's in HD. Yeah. It's in 1080 HD. Jumps that machine and spits out the new Crash. Yeah. It is a full 100% remake, and I think that part right there. If we still have that, but that was in HD.
Yeah.
And upscaled, I would consider that a remaster of some sort. You know what I'm saying?
If you got that at 1080p,
they completely wiped Crash off. They completely redid the whole style of him. Yeah. He looks completely different.
Yeah. But they're extremely faithful.
Yeah.
Extremely
faithful.
One cool thing I discovered was in Crash Bandicoot 3's manual, there was a code you could put in to play Spyro the Dragon. Spyro the Dragon was coming out in 98 when that came out. And you could put in a code on the menu and play the demo.
Oh, wow.
Through Crash Bandicoot 3. People entered that code.
Oh, no.
On that main menu where you can choose Crash 1, 2, or 3 on the main menu. And it does a weird thing. It changes the font coloring. It's just such a subtle, goofy thing, but people are like, the code works.
But they recognize the code.
They recognize that code.
Even though they couldn't put Spyro.
Yeah.
Wow,
so
that's cool.
One part is it's extremely faithful, little things they kept or whatever. And the other part is I think they're winking and nodding. The Spyro thing's going to happen. Especially, it sold more than Horizon in the UK. It outsold that.
And not just that. I think from what I read, it is like the second best-selling game of the year.
Oh, yeah.
PS4.
So it's like, I think Spyro's an inevitable thing now. Crash Team Racing is also an inevitable thing. I feel like maybe.
The only question I have is, does Activision own Spyro? Is that what's causing
the same people? Is it not
Spyro? Was
it's Visceral or something?
So Visceral owns Spyro and Crash.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, because I was just wondering. I was having trouble in my head. Like, why are people?
Skylanders is Spyro. It's a Spyro property thing or whatever. But so I hope they do a good
remaster them all. Jak and Daxter. I haven't played any of these things. So
I love Jak and Daxter
and Ratchet and Clank.
So Crash 1 is
Sly Cooper. I haven't played any of this.
Sly Cooper.
I didn't play any of this.
Man, Sony, what happened to your IPs?
What happened to their mascot platformers?
Yeah, the 2000s.
Yeah, they did.
Brown shooters happened.
But Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto.
Playing this again, I remember Crash 1 being very hard, but man, I died. I said some choice words many times because it is just, it's unforgiving.
Oh yeah.
It destroys you. It destroys your will to live.
I will say the gameplay itself is the same difficulty.
Yeah.
But it's not exactly the same in that the original Crash you couldn't just save when you completed a level.
Yeah.
I almost pulled my hair out because in the original Crash you would have to beat multiple levels and then you have to pick up these things to go to a bonus stage, and the only way to save was to complete a bonus stage.
Yep.
So you could beat 2 levels that you've been struggling on for a while and miss the bonus stage or not find one of the things and then have to beat another 2 levels to save. It was cripplingly difficult.
Yeah. It was a nightmare. But Crash 2 is my favorite of the 3. And here's the thing too, returning, I was like, how am I going to feel now that this is like my 80th time beating them, but as an adult, older, how do I feel about them? It is a 3 Little Bears situation with this trilogy.
Oh gosh.
This one's too cold, this one's too hot. Crash 1, this one's too hard. It's just not consistent on its difficulty. You'll play one level and you jump 5 times and you beat it. But then the next level's like, you're going to lose 3,000 lives on this little stupid bridge. And guess what? You won't even be able to jump far enough to hit the turtles. Terrible. Third one. This one's too easy. I flew through that game very quickly. It has some cool stuff in it. They try you're on a jet ski and stuff they add, which is neat. But coming back as an adult is this is kind of weird. You're in a they just try different stuff, and I admired that, especially as an adult. It's they were changing stuff up. They kept stuff fresh. Cool. And the second one, this one is just right. It's still my favorite after playing this remaster. It has very, very hard parts in it, but it's fair. They change up the gameplay enough to where I really love going back to that one. I beat that one the most out of all of them. So
yeah,
Crash Bandicoot, very fun. I think Spyro will come, and I hope
rock on.
I hope that they keep the same kind of consistent 1-to-1 kind of remaking with those as well. So
you think if we get Spyro, we can get all of them remade?
That's another thing is they remade all 3 of these games and it was for $40.
Yeah, that's a heck of a deal.
What a deal! No wonder it's sold. You're an idiot if you don't buy this game. You heard me.
That is true.
I didn't say that, but yeah, I did. But that was an awesome deal. So I wonder, will they do $40 for the 3 Spyros?
This is the month of remakes. I feel like.
Yeah. What else was
Final Fantasy?
Yep.
Zodiac.
Oh yeah, that came out too. So yeah, that's the next thing. So do you guys play? You've never played 12?
Before I ever played a Final Fantasy game, I was at a guy's house. He had a PS2. I was middle school or early high school, probably early high school. And I remember oh, this is Final Fantasy. I've seen Spirits Within because that was my intro to the series. Was the movie Spirits Within?
Great introduction.
It was the only thing I knew about the series. But, oddly enough, I liked the movie. It just really made me feel weird and, had an existential crisis. I saw when I was, 8, and I had, depression thoughts. It was the first time I ever felt depression was watching that movie.
Yeah, I think a lot of people had that same
thought. And I was 8, and it was just very strange. Very strange time in my life. So, all that being said, I see Final Fantasy XII, and I'm like, okay, this looks cool. And I watched the guy play, the intro. And that was it. So that's all I know about this game. And then now that I've started playing the series, I understand. For a long time, it was when it first came out, people loved it, and then there was like a movement of hate against it, saying, this system sucks, the main character sucks. And then now it seems like it's been getting a little bit more of a rebirth and appreciation, and that's what culminated in this remake. This is kind of a remake in a way, right?
No, I would say it's a remaster.
I'm out of this.
It's a remaster. They added features to it, but it was in the Japanese version. We never got it over here.
Okay.
So here's it. I'm coming from a place of I loved Fantasy X was my first one I beat and really liked it. So when 12, I remember the leaks coming out, or not the leaks, but here's the first official art, and seeing that big city behind you and this character. So I remember all that stuff coming out and being like, this looks awesome. I am so excited because Final Fantasy XI came out.
Kool-Aid.
I couldn't play it, and it's like Final Fantasy X is one of my favorite games. Man, I can't wait for this game. And it comes out, and it's mixed. It's mixed when that comes out.
Okay.
Because it feels like an MMO. It's pretty difficult. The game is pretty difficult.
What does that mean by it feels like an MMO? Is it in the way that
you have to hit?
Works?
You can move around, but you have to hit X and wait for the bar to go, and then you do the movement.
And that's the kind of combat that's in Knights of the Republic.
Yeah, so it feels like an MMO, and it really felt like it at the time. It kind of it also you have to think about Final Fantasy XI had come out, so it's it kind of felt like that.
Yeah,
the look of it and all that stuff. So it's I didn't really jive with it. I got a little bit, and I just kept dying. It was very difficult. I could not. So I was I finally just got sick of it and quit. So I never beat Final Fantasy XII. But I was hearing from people that was hey, this remaster's coming out. They've added some stuff. They added a job system to it.
Nice.
They added a fast forwarding thing to it, which if you've heard me on this podcast, I love fast forwarding through
only way you can beat a Final Fantasy game.
It's the only way you can beat it. So that was cool because before you'd hit X and then you just sit there. Yeah. It's even worse, I think, in 3D because it's why the F am I not moving and doing things? In my opinion,
if there's a game that comes out that's the JRPG style and it's modern day, hey, this come out in 2017, and it doesn't incorporate some sort of fast forward, get away from me. I'll wait for you to get remastered, and when you add it.
If you're waiting around, most JRPGs that come out now,
on their level.
It's fast stuff. It's more fast.
And you don't think we're crazy?
I like turn-based. I appreciate it.
So wait, you can play through it and be slow?
Well, I'll talk about it later. Right now I'm playing a game that I kind of have to. I don't have a choice.
That's so awful.
I've played enough of them that I enjoy the strategy.
I couldn't play Super Mario RPG without fast forward.
So 12, now playing it as an adult, coming back or whatever to it, it was high school when I was playing it. And I'm liking a lot more this time. They added a job system to it, which they added in the special edition or something new revision to it for in Japan. And so that's pretty cool, actually having the different jobs and stuff there. I'm not far enough into it to I'll have more maybe to talk about next month because I haven't had time to play it. I haven't even looked how long it takes to beat this game, but I feel like it's a long time, so I'm just going to ignorance is bliss on it. But enjoying it so far. Having a lot more fun time than I was back then.
What intrigues me about that game is the Gambit system is what it's called.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where you basically program your party members and say, hey, if this thing happens, this condition, I want you to do this. And you can layer those commands to where, from what I understand, you can enter a battle and your characters will be programmed to where they will fight the way you would want them to. I feel like that sounds awesome for me as a strategist because it's kind of like programming. There's things that could happen that you don't expect. It's like emergent. It's a system that has possibility for emergent consequences.
When I played when I first played it, I didn't care for it. I couldn't even wrap my head around certain stuff like that, especially coming from Final Fantasy X. But now, reading up on that, this game has this, blah, blah, it's that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because,
unique.
If character is less than 30% health, heal. Start healing. Or if, you see me getting ganged up, everybody gang up on this one person. If whatever. You can.
I can understand why Square thought that would be a good idea because that was the complaint going into the 2000s of, okay, JRPGs need to be modernized. We need to modernize them. So their thought was, well, let's have the player program all the stuff that's boring. Like healing
and
when you're
if you like that, you might like a game that's much hated, which I enjoyed, but the criticisms are valid, is Final Fantasy XIII. You can basically do the same thing. You set a method for the person, and they go ahead and fight that way. Hey, you're a mage. Do mage stuff, and you can just kind of just keep going on a rhythm.
Mage stuff.
But then it's the tide of the battle changes. Hey, my people are getting hurt, and they have status effects. everyone shift your jobs, and you shift jobs, and they auto stuff with the new stuff. I really liked 13's like kind of rhythm on that way, but I understand the criticism. But 12 is pretty cool so far. I need to play some more, but
interesting.
Right. Sticking to 10. I won't ever go past 10.
You played 10 and 10 too, and those are the only ones you played, right?
Yep. I don't feel like touching any other ones. I might play.
But you really like those, right?
I love it, but I put so much time in it. Oh,
really?
Well, you get fast forward. It's got fast forward.
Dude, I had fast forward on. I still hit 40 hours.
So you're done with the series?
I might play. I want to play. Here's the thing. I like the idea of 15.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just looks nice. It looks like it's more of like not really an RPG, but action.
It's more like
So,
but you're a Nintendo man. Speaking of Nintendo, something else came out this month.
Hey, glorious Splatoon 2.
I heard this was a remaster.
Actually, that's what. Now here's what we boil down to. And when I say glorious, I love Splatoon. We talked about it last month. Mm-hmm. We both walked in Splatoon and said, "This is neat."
Yeah.
And I actually think I was sitting here before the podcast. I was like, how do you think Nintendo came up with Splatoon?
What do you mean? Like, what was the ideal process?
Imagine you sitting in a room.
Yeah, anything.
What if we got inside of the paint and swam around, and that's how we reloaded our paint guns?
And
right when they announced that ideal, there were some people that were kind of mixed on it, but when they announced it at that E3, I was just like, I am into this 1,000,000,000%. Like, it just sounded like a fun concept. Like, you could jump in the ink, jump out as a squid, and then, like, shoot people with ink. I was like, that sounds so
Here's
fun.
what I think. I think they were sitting in a room, and they're like, guys, we haven't done something new in a long time.
Yeah.
And they're like, man, you're right.
Yeah.
What? And they have a tank, and this little tank has like an octopus, a little mini octopus in it. And they were sitting there like, we need to make a paintball game. They were like, let's make a
What
paintball.
possessed them to make a game where Mario throws his hat on things?
Yeah.
What makes them think of any of these things?
They went nuts lately.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because we're out of it and they're in it. But I don't know. That game, Splatoon 2.
So how long you might have played more than I have?
I've put like 5-6 hours on it. How much online have you done?
0.
See, this is where we're going to differ.
Okay.
I've put more time in online than
I'll talk
story.
single player then.
Okay, you take over.
I'm a single player man. That's a multiplayer man.
Go ahead.
Single player, I played. Went on a trip, so I could only play it in handheld mode or whatever. But I just want to say that ink looks good. The ink from Splatoon 1 to 2, they have added little glitter. Have you noticed there's glitter in it now?
Now that I'm seeing more screenshots, it looks significantly better than the first one.
It's not like
it's
not like matte. It's glossy.
Yeah, I like the look of it a lot, and so I didn't have really good online access, and I'll get more into that too.
This is gonna be funny.
So I just played the single player, and it feels just like the first one. I'm having a great time. They added there's probably stuff I haven't even got yet because I need to get further probably in the story. Maybe there's more stuff I don't know yet. But you can do dodging now.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's really cool. I think that's going to add another layer to it online and stuff too.
It does. No, keep going. I'm gonna go ahead and finish.
But I'm having a blast with it. I've only played the single player. I love how they started this one out because what we laughed about, I think the last podcast, how they did the Carrie and Mary. Is that their name or whatever? The Squid Sisters, the dark, what happened to them? I think
what happened?
Some dark stuff happened. It's like, what the heck happened to the commentators? To this fun kids game. But in this one, she turns around and she's like this part of the secret agent thing. She's the one that kind of introduces you to the single player.
Yeah.
And she's kind of dressed up hey, I might be this pop star, but there's some other stuff going on. They're and
it's
she's
a secret life.
And I thought that was so funny, so charming and stuff that I love it, and I'm having a really fun time with it. The online, so you could talk probably more about it, but I downloaded the app for the voice chat and stuff, and immediately I didn't want to screw with it. And it just goes to show, Nintendo, we gave our opinions on how crappy the Switch console itself is. We love, the experience or whatever, but, the hardware and stuff, it's why couldn't you build the mic in it? Why, they had to keep the cost down. It's so they just put everything in this freaking telephone.
Yeah.
And it's when I got the app and I was looking at it, and I was hearing people online complain about it too, and it's I didn't even want to get this thing out and talk to people, and it's I don't.
Dude,
but you can do it without. Can you do it without using the?
No, you can't.
You have to use the.
You have
if you don't use the voice chat.
No, you have to use the phone.
Okay.
To connect to people.
Well, no, you can connect to people and not talk. You can connect in a lobby, but you cannot talk to them unless you have your phone out on the app.
Discord.
No, I mean, yo.
But can I get on Switch and play an online game on Splatoon 2 without booting up the phone at all?
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
No, that
because I just went like, I guess I'll just won't have voice chat.
Yeah,
that's how my thing is, because I don't feel like taking the thing out, pulling that thing in, plugging that in. It's like, you should have had that in the
Jacob,
console.
you look like you're carrying a burden on
I am carrying a little bit of burden.
So how was your experience playing the...
Okay, so on Splatoon, the single player, real quick, I've made it to stage 2. That's the farthest I've gotten.
Okay, I beat the first world, and I started playing the first couple levels.
So we're right there. We're right in the same part. Like I said with him, I started with single player, and then, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I got to the point of single player, and they're like, if you want to get any farther, you're going to have to hop online at some point. And I sat there and I was like...
What?
Now, did you not hit this?
No.
Okay, for you to get better weapons and stuff in single player, you have to jump online and earn them.
Wait, what does that mean for when they start charging for online?
So Nintendo found a way to purchase our money and get us to pay for online. Because... I was playing. They give you this. We
better get in there. I'm going to play this to get all the weapons I need before the online goes paid in the fall.
It was funny, so
which is very.
You have to be. I think it's like level 2 on online. So you have to play literally like 2 rounds of turf war. That's all you have to do.
Weird.
But it's like
I have never heard of a game.
Dang it!
I have never heard of a game that has single player and multiplayer, where you reach a point in the single player where they say go get online so you can get what.
But can you keep playing? You don't have to.
No, you don't have to. But have fun with that one gun.
Okay.
Is it kind of like in Metal Gear Solid 5? There was a point where they were like, "Hey, you need to build an FOB, which is online." But like you could do it, but it didn't really affect.
No, it doesn't affect it. Here's the thing: you can collect things while you're going through single player and upgrade the weapons they give you. Like the one little shooter that they give you.
They give you one. I saw like 1 or 2 guns.
You can upgrade them, but if you want the other stuff, you got to get online.
Did in the first one they just gave you the weapons?
Yeah. In the first one, here's
here's okay. I take back everything. Good thing. No, I'm just kidding.
Here's the kicker.
I gotta keep playing more. But
I'm gonna keep going into it. I've spent enough time.
These give me flashbacks to the Guitar Hero when you got Guitar Hero Live from somebody, and we're sitting in his room and we're booting this game up. Somebody bought it for him. It's like a $80 game with a controller, and he's putting it up, and then we boot it up, and there's like a 20-minute tutorial, and then it's like. And here's where you got to put in a hero token. And then here's where you buy hero tokens. And like, you bought this game and it's hard.
Can't buy,
the first thing it's doing is asking you to buy tokens? What?
I'll talk about Guitar Hero in a minute anyways, but I want to finish this Splatoon rant. So Splatoon 1, they gave you everything. They threw it all out there. They knew Wii U sucked anyway, so they needed to give you everything they can give you on a game. So... in Splatoon 2, when you go on multiplayer, you get one gun and your set of clothing. Your clothing helps with your attributes. So if you wear a certain shirt, that makes you move faster. A certain headband will revive you quicker.
Yeah, I played the Splatoon 1. That was like one of the games I played online the most, probably last gen. Well, yeah.
And this
whatever.
one,
whatever the Wii U was, but like that, I loved doing that.
Yeah, and all you have to do in this one, and it's not really a burden, but it's like. Man, you kind of make me have to like play online in order to get the cooler stuff, and I just want to get the cooler stuff. So you have to play online, unlock coins and other tokens, and it allows you to purchase other weapons that become unlocked as you get better and better in the game.
That's how it was last game.
So that's not terrible. That's not a big deal. I just thought, I was like, why does this affect single player? Like, that makes no sense to me.
I'll play some more and kind of see how that turns out, because it might be okay, but...
Online is... absolutely awesome. I'll spend so much time. I'll play 10 rounds.
Did you do the voice chat?
No, I did not. Because I didn't feel like downloading the freaking app. And plus,
I'm just too lazy to do that.
It just doesn't work. Like, Nintendo, get your crap together. Like, making a USB adapter.
Is it over? Like, is there no way for them to like retro fit the Switch?
Unless they do a slim model.
A USB adapter.
They need a new Switch model.
Yes. I mean, they could do what he's saying. They could do a hardware patch where
here's a dongle. Buy a dongle. You plug in a headphone.
But what does it plug into? I wonder. Is there another port?
I don't. Anyways, guys, it's a Switch. I mean, we got what we wanted.
Yeah, that really. When I downloaded the app, I didn't even. I did sign in, but it was like, man, I got to pull this out every freaking time I would want to talk to somebody, and like, do I talk into the mic on the iPhone? Or do I have to plug in a separate thing?
I thought it was like just like a phone call. What is it like? Have you? Oh, you haven't used it either.
We're gonna. I just downloaded. We've got to the point where we knew we had to get it, and we both said no. So that's our review.
If you've
of the
gotten
Splatoon
it,
online.
put it like in the comments how we use it, because I want to know.
I haven't even tried because I've not done it, but I saw the picture of like all the things.
Yeah,
they have that and I saw that, and
that was a third party. Like
I saw that, and I said, I'll stick to single player.
Yeah, I guess I just won't play it.
Yeah, that was exactly what I thought.
My only complaint that I have left with Splatoon 2 is the competitive side of me hates the shooting. People
this is a good topic. This is a good topic.
People have brought this up, but it's like, hey, I'm aiming at a person. I know I'm like my reticle is on them, and I'm shooting, but my splats are going this way, and I'm like
split splats.
Like they here's the thing, the game isn't truly a shooter when their only game mode on online is called Turf War, and all you do is shoot the ground.
I thought they had different modes. They had like
all I've played is Turf War. Like
really?
Nothing's been like unless there's a way to change
There's different modes.
I've maybe I haven't been able to change it.
It's not a tactical shooter.
No, and I understand that, but
you would like better
when
feedback.
This little idiot has that paint roller brush, and I'm trying to shoot him to avoid dying. Who's going to win?
I have heard. I was really interested. I was reading people. It was like, here's what professional people are playing this for like sport and stuff. The Splatoon, and they said they really love it a lot. This one over the last one. They said that like every encounter matters more now. Like it isn't just like it's more like team based important versus last time all the perks and stuff you could get. It was like more individual based. Whatever. They were kind of praising that. They were also praising, and this is kind of where the controversy is. Motion controls over analog stick. Now I'm playing in the bed. When I was playing in the bed, I was like, I gotta turn this motion control off. Yeah. I need to play like where I'm like using the analog. That's how I played on the Wii U. But these players are saying no, the motion control is very good. It's the way to play it. And I was like, maybe I'll give that another try.
I tried it,
but I'll do that when I'm doing like. I won't do that when I'm handheld mode. I don't feel like freaking like moving.
Here's the thing with gyro. The Steam controller ruined me because on the Steam controller you can set it up to where if you're just holding the controller, the gyro's off, right?
Yeah.
And then you can set it up to where you can use the pad to do like quick swipes. But you can set it up to where if you rest your finger on the pad, the gyro's enabled.
Oh, yeah.
So I played several third-person shooters with that control setup. It was awesome. I played the entire first Mass Effect. So like you would just swipe like this if you're like a mouse, like move around, move the camera. But then you could rest your finger and then aim. So I was a sniper on Mass Effect 1. I used snipers.
You know what that was good for?
And
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah,
was great.
It was the same thing, and that's why I used it on Breath of the Wild. So what I love about the Steam controller is it's got a sensor to where if you're even resting your finger on the pad, you can set up to where that turns the gyro on. And I love that. So when I try to play Splatoon 2's Test Fire, the gyro always being on messed me up. Yeah. I wish there was a way to enable it.
I hate gyro.
Or like maybe if only when you go down sights it was enabled, like in Breath of the Wild.
Gyro because I live and die by the analog. I've trained myself over the years.
You don't hate gyro because you play VR.
You
hate it in certain contexts.
I hate gyro in terms of like
with a controller, with a controller, with a regular one-pack controller.
I mean, and I don't even like playing games with mouse and keyboard. I've always like.
Well, did you like the Wii?
Not really. Okay. I didn't play like Breath of the Wild or anything.
He is a certified gyro hater.
Skyward Sword or anything like that. When I played Twilight Princess, I was so mad I had to swipe the controller just to hit people. I hated that. That was stupid.
To me, I think that gyro gets us the closest that you can get to aiming with a mouse.
I don't play with a mouse.
Once you get used to it. I know, but like as far as like with a mouse, you can very quickly get aimed. Yeah. Whereas with your thumb on a stick, people have gotten good at it, but you still have to. You need some aim assistance.
So I'm gonna. I haven't played enough. I haven't had enough time, but I'm gonna check that out, and we'll have more thoughts next time.
Yeah,
so we'll have some time to sit on it.
Nothing like Splatoon 2.
I'm glad I waited on that. I waited on that, and I was gonna get ARMS, and I didn't. So
I'll tell you right now, ARMS is.
I think if I was gonna buy one right now, I would still buy ARMS.
Nope, trash can.
Trash can.
Would you be trash can or not?
What is making you?
I'm not saying trash can, but I'd say if someone gave it to me, I'd play it. But I don't know if
after playing the Test Fire, it's like.
All I've seen is that it's developed a really good competitive community. It's sold over 1 million copies. They've been releasing DLC and new free characters.
I'm playing.
I'm telling you right now. I would
Gyro Man doesn't agree.
If you got online and did what you did during the test punch, now you'd probably get your butt kicked.
I'd get my butt kicked.
And that's my point. Is that first night nobody knew what they were doing, so this worked. But from what I've seen, that would not cut it. Now people are much smarter about how they play. And it's developed a true following.
And hey, that's awesome for the 100 people that play it.
But it's not a trash can game.
Hey man, when you got 100 people playing it,
trash can game is like Devil's Third, like literally a piece of crap.
Hey, hold on now. There's some diamonds in that game.
Splatoon 2 has been really fun. I have more impressions next time. But
yeah.
Speaking of, hey, this could be trash can involved.
We don't know yet. It's possible.
Gran Turismo Sport footage was shown, and I sat down and spent some time with it because.
Are you a Gran Turismo guy?
I was.
Oh. Gosh.
Because I was a pretty hardcore fan of Gran Turismo since the first one. First one loved it. Second one loved
Sony
it.
fanboy. Oh,
that's what I am. Hey, we got a comment that called us out on saying that we were Sony fanboys.
You are. You are a Sony fanboy.
I'm a Sony fanboy to the point where I'll call them out on their crap as well. But I just love the work that I love the games that they come out.
I like them, but you are
I'm a big time guy.
You're a big guy.
But Gran Turismo loved. First, second, third one. Love those games.
So what happened? What happened to the series? Because it does not seem like
here's what happened. So the fifth one was the last one I played on the PS3. Got a driving wheel, and then they announced the sixth one. I was like, this is the same game. This is the Madden of racing games. I do not need this game. So I stopped with Gran Turismo 5. I stopped with 5 on PS3 because it was cool to me. That's why it was my last one. Was like I want to see it in HD. Like I want to see a Gran Turismo in HD. That was really cool to see in 5. 6 I didn't need. They made something else, like, I don't even know what it's called. And then they've shown this Gran Turismo Sport. And when they showed footage of this, it looked like a PS2 game. Like, they showed trees on the side, and it was like, are you freaking kidding me? And they got blasted. They're also getting blasted on something that, like, I'm not an audio guy, but other people very are audio guys and girls.
Very are.
And they were blasting them for the audio, like the car sounds and stuff, and they were like, this sucks, Forza does it a lot better. I couldn't really tell, but it's like, maybe that, I mean, guys, enough people say there's smoke.
There's something Microsoft wins at, and it is Forza.
I guess Forza, so a lot of people jump.
GG Sport? Is that Sony first
Polyphony Digital is the name of it.
Are they like a Sony second
They're
party?
They're a Sony second party type deal.
It just amazes me that, like, you can have one company that sucks at something.
Yeah.
And then the other company's like way better than them, like Microsoft versus Sony, right? Like so, like Microsoft can't make a story-based game to save their life at this point, right? But Sony can do that out the butt.
Yeah.
But Microsoft can make an amazing racing game, and Sony can't.
I will say,
you see that with sports games. Like 2K will make amazing basketball games, but their baseball games suck. Like, what is that? Like, why?
Some people just do it better. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess we're all different.
But they showed that footage. It sucked, and people said this looks terrible, and I agreed. I was like, the trees look laughable, especially in, like, I would say a post Drive Club world.
Well, you know what?
Once Drive Club came out, because that like was jaw dropping.
I have a rebuttal.
Okay.
You always say just play Halo 3. So you said, I just wanted a GT game that was in HD. So they gave you that. So now they're saying, let's just go back.
Yeah.
Let's give you GT4.
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're just going back.
So I will say,
they're making a PS2
in
game.
this sense, I watched the new footage. I was like, hey, they've got some time with it. They went back and they said they're going to change some stuff. Okay. Watched some footage. And all I could think the whole time, there was some stuff that looked really good, but overall, like, they showed, like, the first person view, and it was just like, just play Drive Club. Just play Drive Club. Like,
it's a hard life for racing games.
Hey, Drive Club VR.
There's not really been really great innovation. The closest thing that's innovated is I played Drive Club VR, and that felt like the next step is like getting you in the seat. Like, felt exhilarating. Like, I was just like, I'm looking that mirror. I'm looking like actually to the side of me and seeing people right by the thing. And I'm going like this. Well, and I was loving it. It did kind of make me a little sick. It was a little bit kind of much, but like, it was awesome.
You know, I have a friend named Randy who built the. I think you've been there. I think you've played it. He built the steering wheel, and it was like a dashboard. Yeah, it has a steering wheel.
The steering wheel and stuff, and get that with VR. That'd be awesome.
Get that VR going, dude. I'm telling you, immersion on the next level.
Yeah, that'd be incredible.
Like,
but
that'd be the most immersive experience ever.
Man, you can go drive a car right now.
I hope
that steps up.
That's so funny. Like, that's how much of a game changer VR is. That you're like,
it's a different car. To be fair, different.
But you're like, man, you want to drive a car? You have a car sitting downstairs. Like,
well, you can do things. Yeah.
But I can crash into walls.
You can crash into walls and go 80 miles an hour.
But you can do that in real life if you want. The graphics are awesome in real life. Check it out. Check out real life.
That's what VR is supposed to teach us.
Link in the comments.
Maybe
real life.
Real life. Hey, I don't play in VR. I play in
RL.
I'm an IRL kind of guy. Okay, enough of that.
This is your boat here, man.
I'm gonna drive the Steamboat Willie.
Oh my god!
See what I did there?
You're gonna drive this off a cliff.
Kingdom Hearts 3 showed up at D23, the big Disney expo. They showed a bunch of Disney stuff, but we got to see Toy Story World, which was awesome,
phenomenal.
I was really hoping that they would do. It was almost like a given. You're like, they got to do it, and they did. They gave. They served. They heard our cries 80 years ago as it's been in development and said we're going to give you Toy Story World, and it looks 1-to-1 like you're playing a Toy Story.
Well, they've always said that. I've always seen that on like forums and stuff. When will game graphics pass Toy Story?
It's here.
They did it.
It's here.
Did it.
It looks 1-to-1. I was just watching it like this looks gorgeous. Footage looked great. I kind of scrolled through it because there was like 15 minutes of gameplay. I don't need 15. I like 2 minutes or 3 minutes of stuff. It's like I'll play it when it comes out.
It reminded me a lot of that demo for Final Fantasy XV where you were running around the house and you were small. Do you remember that demo for Final Fantasy XV? The footage reminded me of that a lot.
Well, it's the same guy who worked on 15. He was the director. So that's why you're
going to get a lot of feel. And it's just being small in a big room.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to get more. I never played Final Fantasy 15. I just remember that from the demo. I didn't get the vibe that you got to do that more in the actual game. Yeah. So the idea of playing like a whole level or world in Kingdom Hearts that's like that, that seems cool.
It looked cool because it was in the front yard and stuff too.
Wow, that's awesome.
And like you get to see like the people across the street or like the houses across the street. It looked cool. But just like Nintendo and Iwata, where there's good, there's always a bad they have to give to you. There was an interview. There was like little bits and pieces coming out of the interview that this somebody did it, but with
the director,
with Nomura or whatever, the director of the game, and they were interviewing and asking questions and stuff, and it came up to like, hey, are you going to keep some worlds secret? Now, I played Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, and there was levels I would play and go, oh shoot, we're going there. Yeah.
Let's go.
But there was some stuff they showed in the magazines like, hey, you're going to go and see Nightmare Before Christmas. Okay. You're going to see stuff
like that. They're
that.
not going to show you every level.
Yes. And he said, he was like, we will not be keeping any world secret. You're going to know about everything before the game comes out. And I was like, I was steaming that. I was enraged. It was because it's anti-everything I'm into. I love surprises. I love secrets. Kojima always does that. He always plays with your mind and like teasing stuff. He's like on the good spectrum. Nomura's like.
So you're officially putting on the blinders.
No, you can't.
I can't. So when I read that, I knew, just like the Toy Story thing, I'm going to see this.
No, but don't worry. But don't worry, because the next question was, well. What is there going to be DLC? What will be the surprises? He says there will be DLC coming out. We're planning it now. To me, this game has been in production forever.
Yeah.
Don't be planning DLC right now. Just make the game.
They need to get the game out. But
zero of your company's time should be going to planning DLC for the game that's been delayed for 20 years.
So we didn't mention. So at the end of that Toy Story thing, it did pop up 2018. You guys believe that?
2018.
but you can kind of tell how far along something really is by kind of the coverage and the interviews and stuff. Maybe it is because they showed this. They showed a lot of footage for this, and they did say
I'll buy like a late November. December,
it'll be definitely Q4 2018 if it does, but we'll see as it gets closer. Because when Last Guardian was coming out, like it got to a point when they didn't delay it. They delayed it one more time before release. And if you guys remember, I remember in our group chat going, I got a bad feeling Last Guardian was about to be delayed because it was getting closer to the release date and we hadn't seen anything. Yeah. That's when you go, oh, frick. This was a lot of build-up at D23. They showed quite a lot of footage and talked about it a lot. It's like, maybe they are ready to, they're kind of confident in 2018.
We didn't think we were going to get a Mario game this year.
Yeah.
Different conversation.
I understand. I'm just saying, we've
Final
seen
Fantasy,
crazier things. They announced this in 2013.
2013
this was announced. And we've been waiting since...
And that was years after 2 came out, right?
The one that peeves me the most is what you said. They're already planning DLC.
Yeah.
It's kind of a given these days, but make it an unspoken thing.
Just surprise us.
Don't tease us.
It's like Battlefront telling us, hey, buy the season pass now. That's why they messed up. They didn't even complete the first game.
Yeah.
Thank God we have Battlefront 2.
Well, do you want to jump on the next D23? Was this D23, this VR thing?
Yes, it actually was. They showed off... So now you know that Marvel and Disney, they work together. Disney owns most of the Marvel rights, unless you're like Spider-Man and a couple other titles. But what was really cool was they showed off a new game, a new Marvel VR game that would let you play as certain Marvel characters like the Hulk, Rocket Raccoon, Captain Marvel, and Deadpool.
Yeah, I don't think this game's made by Disney. Disney owns... Disney owns cinematic rights.
Yeah, but they showed it off there.
Okay,
gotcha. I'm not saying it's owned by them.
Gotcha.
But that's why they showed it there.
Because Deadpool's owned by Fox.
Yes.
Wow, that's an interesting combination.
And that's why people were like, holy crap, I get to play as Deadpool in VR. Because out of all of the characters in Marvel, I think the only two we want to play as is Spider-Man and Deadpool. I mean...
I don't know much about Deadpool. I felt like the big thing about Deadpool is his personality. So if you're playing VR, his personality...
Well, you get to cuss a lot and make jokes.
Yeah,
I could do that sitting in my room. I could break the fourth wall.
Are you playing
right
Deadpool
now.
VR tonight?
Yeah.
I was playing Deadpool VR when I was playing Crash.
Go ahead. Sorry. I guess just my immediate reaction to that is VR superhero stuff is odd. Spider-Man makes sense.
Well, they released a Spider-Man VR experience. I don't know if you guys know that.
Really?
I saw this by happen chance. Are you talking about the PSVR thing?
Well, there is one for PSVR.
That looks like a turd.
It is a turd.
Did you play it?
I watched someone play it and I'm like, that's a turd.
They have the guy, the new Spider-Man comes out, and he's like, are you ready to be Spider-Man? And it looks like something from the 360 era.
It's
of promotional material. It's very
That's all
weird.
it is. It's literally, I think, 15 minutes long. And all it is it's almost a giant promotion for the movie.
Is it one of those, basically, movies where you can kind of look around?
No, you shoot spider webs at balloons.
Just
That's
like Spider-Man
that
does
turd of a Star Wars game.
And
Star Wars VR 15-minute. We go
Trials of Tatooine. Hey, I ain't gonna lie though. When they came down the ship and you had he tossed you the lightsaber.
It got a little intense for a second, but then just the animation.
Well, it was more or less that was just a project. That wasn't like a
thing.
So, anyways, back on that. People are kind of excited because of the idea of getting to play as Deadpool. If the personality part, as you're playing, Deadpool's talking. So, I don't know where the immersion factor is going to come in for that. Because you're playing
So,
as
does this
Deadpool.
stuff look better than the Spider-Man one?
Yes, it looks like an actual VR game.
Okay, that's cool.
I don't know how it's going to... you get to play as the Hulk. I mean, that's really cool.
I wonder... I'm waiting on... They rumored an Overwatch-style game with Marvel... superheroes?
I have no...
They rumored that last year. I think that this is not that.
No, I would hope not.
But I'm surprised that there's still no news about that. But
I just think... But here's where my thing is, this game made me think outside of that. Because even though it's a new VR game that's coming out to VR, it's an Oculus exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Here is my picky thing. And before we get into this, I wanted to get our 3 touches on VR. What do you have?
I have the PSVR.
You have the PSVR.
That's all.
All right.
I have my eyes.
You have his eyes.
He's got eyes.
Right.
He's got IRL.
You have played the...
I played PSVR and I played Vive.
You played Vive.
Because you guys have owned those.
Okay. I had a PSVR. I got rid of it for the Vive. So...
Trader.
I'm not a
trader.
trader.
Oh, and I've done the Gear VR.
Oh, yeah. They actually released a new one, by the way. I don't know if you guys know
Really?
that. So, they announced this game as an Oculus exclusive. And... when the whole... I think this is officially the VR wars, when PlayStation announced their side of VR.
Yeah.
Then they're like, hey, we got Batman Arkham VR. Hey, we're going to have Farpoint coming out. Yeah. We're going to have all these new games coming out for them. That's only PlayStation. And...
Well, that makes sense, though, because...
Yeah.
Well, Batman, to be fair, was a timed exclusive because it's coming to
and
Vive.
it already came. It already came to Vive. Same goes for Super Hot. Super Hot had a VR version announced only for this thing in Oculus.
See, yeah,
but that's time. I think that's time too. That's
but this is okay. So to me, the discussion is, it's not just about the headset, right? PS4, there's a precedence for PlayStation games to be different than PC games.
Yes.
Right? The difference is Oculus games, you still buy on what?
On Oculus. They have their own little.
They have their own store.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can buy them through Steam. But you have to, you still playing through the Oculus.
Well, then how is that different than like an Origin game that EA makes so you can't buy on Steam?
Here's my thing.
I guess it's because you can't use the hardware on it.
And that's what makes me more or less like, what is the point of the VR exclusive games?
Well,
we're so early on.
If you think about like Xbox One and PS4, there's no reason for them not to port an Xbox One to a PS4 game, and vice versa if it's a third-party studio, if it's not second-party or first-party. With this, it's a little different because, like, the PSVR, they are similar, all three of the headsets, the big ones, Oculus, PSVR, and Vive, but they are kind of different. Like, they have different specs,
they have
different stuff, so, like, it's more almost reasonable to me to have exclusives in that right. Well, but I don't know. Maybe
here's the reason why. Here's the reason why. Because though yes, the likelihood is that it's not going to be worth it, or it's not going to gain you super amount of sales or whatever. The reality is it's a very unknown type of device. It's very unknown how this will play out in the marketplace.
That's true too.
So if you can get a leg up and they're getting a leg up, it's human nature. Oh, they're getting this, we're going to get this. They're going to get this, we're going to get this. I guess Valve isn't doing any exclusives. Is my understanding.
Valve is just.
But Oculus seems to me like a more ambitious, combative company. They clearly feel at a disadvantage. Here's the thing: it's not even playing field because you get on Steam all the time for things that have nothing to do with the Vive.
Yeah.
No one goes to Oculus' store for non-Oculus things. So they are David. I don't like Oculus as a company, but in a very real sense, they're David going up against Goliath. So in their mind, probably having an exclusive helps tip the balance back in their scales against big Valve.
And PSVR is King David.
Exactly.
I
think that's why Oculus... And so Valve can sit back and say, well, that's not right. I can't believe they're doing that. But Valve can say that because Valve is freaking Valve. They make billions without the exclusive.
But they also, counterpoint... They're backed by Facebook, though. Oculus is.
They are, but Facebook doesn't have any clout in the PC gaming market.
No, and
yes, Facebook's a bigger company, but so they're not truly David versus Goliath in a monetary sense, in a backing sense, but in a market share sense, they're absolutely David versus Goliath. Yeah. How much market share of PC gaming does Facebook have? Whatever Oculus has, nothing. I mean, I guess you can count moms playing.
So what's you're saying? What are you saying? You don't like that there's exclusive games?
I just hate the fact that,
or you hate that. Yeah, you hate.
There's such a competitive nature early on, and I know this is businesses, but early on, this early in VR.
Yeah, I think it's part competitive, and I think it's part people going, "Is this going to work? Should we invest money in this?" And I think these companies are paying these companies to have the exclusives, so they're like, "Well, now we have an extra." Incentive.
That's what I'm saying.
To make the games that we want to make.
It does
because right now people are kind of spooked. Like people might
limit sales.
Yeah.
So say your game is an Oculus exclusive, that does limit how many people can buy it. But you have to ask how much does it limit it? Because how many Vives are there?
Exactly.
Not that many.
I know.
How many Oculus are there? Not that many. So we're talking about splitting not that much in half, which still gets you not that much. It's more. All of this is proof of concept.
Hey, why do you even make a VR game?
You're not going to make a VR game that's going to sell 1 million copies because there aren't 1 million units.
Yeah.
So they know they're not going to make a ton of money on any of these games.
That's why
because they're proof of concept.
I understand.
They're proof of concept.
If I'm a person who's
experimentation.
I'm developing a VR game. Why would I develop it if I know I'm not going to be able to sell it at all for just at least in 3 systems? Why would I want to develop for 1?
Because your team learns from the development process and can build on that knowledge.
That is what happened to
Job
Simulator.
Were.
Job Simulator said they originally made that for Oculus, and they said we learned some stuff. Guess what? It's coming to PSVR.
Yeah,
we learned. We actually took that system and made it. I actually watched their whole because I'm a geek. That's what I am. I watched their whole little developer thing, and they were talking about we're releasing that for people to use, like our API stuff we built, so it can Cross 2.
And they made
PSVR
the Rick and Morty game, which was phenomenal on Steam. People love it because that movie is such a big show.
Yeah.
And it was such a great, very good game.
The other thing is, Jacob, for Oculus, right, or for Valve, they're going to sit back and they're going to say, okay, there's all the reasons in the world not to buy one of our devices. Mm-hmm. First gen, you got to have a super powerful computer, blah, 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 blah. So the number of things that can tip the scales in our favor for the average consumer is very small, and the biggest one is games. So Oculus is thinking one of the only things they can actually control is if we got Facebook backing us, we can buy some exclusives that gets us a couple notches in the belt to where someone might realistically pick us over Vive.
And right now,
and I think that it's a viable strategy.
Oculus is playing smart because they're also on sale. They're doing the whole summer sale. You can buy an Oculus with a touch and a controller for $400. The same price for the PSVR.
Mm-hmm.
Like that in itself, they're trying to catch up.
Yes,
and
I think they're third place.
And they're in third place.
And it's PSVR.
And PSVR and HTC, PSVR might be in first because of the exclusives they have for it.
PSVR is 100% in first.
Yeah.
And because they have a higher market share, because there are...
Because you didn't have to buy a new computer. There's a lot of people there was a barrier to entry.
Like 40, 50 million people on this planet that have PS4s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There are not 40 or 50 million people that have PCs capable of running the Vive.
Yeah.
There's probably not even half that.
And I'll tell you right now, I'll tell you this, and I'll go to the grave with this. The HTC Vive is way better than the PSVR in terms of gameplay and spec-wise.
Yes.
But in terms of availability and standalone games, the PSVR is crushing the Vive.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're talking... I
guess my thing was I was just more mad because I wanted to play Farpoint, and I don't have PSVR anymore.
Oh, that was never coming to Vive because, all fairness, Sony published that game.
I know, that's what I'm saying. And that made me realize, I was like, I don't have a PSVR anymore.
Yeah.
I can't play that game.
I do. I'll get Farpoint when it goes down. That seems like something that'll go down in price.
Yeah.
Because that has an accessory you can get with it. And
But I do get to experience
really cool,
what you can't experience, like Super Hot VR and stuff like that.
But that's coming to PSVR.
That's bullcrap. Gosh! Dang it!
All right, well, let's wrap this show up. We'll just go through what we played this month. So I kind of already talked about everything. I played Crash, I played Fantasy XII, and I played Splatoon. I'll go back on Crash for a second. I did 100% Crash 2 and 3. 1, in order to 100% that, you have to beat 6 or 7 levels, get all the boxes, and do not die the whole time.
That's impossible.
Impossible. I just went, that's an impossible
thing to do.
So the second one, you can die and get the things, and the time trials were really fun. I had a blast. I think they added time trials too. 1 and 2, definitely 1 and 2, I believe as well. 3 was the first one that had time trials, so that was really fun. Time trialing through all that, which I hadn't done before, so that was cool. And then Splatoon 2, I have more to say. I haven't got to play too much on that, but that's all I played for this month.
In my terms, I played a little bit of Crash. Not a ton. I've still on Crash 1. I've been playing more Players Unknown Battleground than anything. I mean, that game
Yeah, I've been playing that with you.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, we were talking earlier about it. Very fun game, especially with friends. If you've got friends on,
I'm gonna have to pick that up soon. I'm gonna have to.
It's very fun.
Especially I got a new computer
but it's
too,
still
so
very early access. It's kind of janky.
And here's the thing, though, is I'm excited because this game has such a big following. We're going to get a finished product. I believe that once we get a finished product, maybe it'll be a little bit better, maybe it'll be worse. I'm just having fun now. That's all.
To me, it's such a weird thing because it seems like such a no-brainer. How come a game hasn't been?
Well, you have H1Z, Z1 or something like that. And you have Armana or
Daisy.
I forget what it's called. Yeah,
Daisy was another one.
It took a mod of those games.
Yeah.
To push this game out.
Yeah.
And it's just a simple concept.
I just find myself now playing it so much, wanting Metal Gear Solid 5 gameplay, but this game.
Yeah.
Because I started watching. I played this game, PlayerUnknown Battleground, a ton. It's third-person shooter. You crawl around. You try to avoid people. But it is a 1 out of 10 gameplay-wise compared to Metal Gear Solid 5, which is a 10 out of 10. And I'm thinking if I could get this game with Metal Gear Solid 5 gameplay, that's all I would play. I would only play this. So that's if that says.
I think Metal Gear
about...
Solid 5 spoiled a lot of games in that kind of format for it because it just was the most fluid gameplay I've ever played. The best gameplay ever.
Yeah.
Thing go on
this game is still in early access. Things are always getting fixed and tweaked.
They might buy Konami.
I don't think that Konami is going to come in and step in and change anything.
But what makes PlayerUnknown really special is playing with friends. Because it gets very intense. You hop in cars and you drive around. And
you're screaming.
I would like them to really do a good polish on the gameplay feel, and I don't think that's going to happen. I think the gameplay feel is pretty much what it is, and they're going to fix other things.
I think they really believe in the idea that they have this about as realistic as they can get.
One funny thing I watched, there's another YouTuber, we're the best, but this is second place. Donkey.
Yeah, he's
played that, and I was laughing at give me your pants or whatever. And it was like he had somebody it was like, give me the pants and I won't shoot you or whatever. And
anything to stay alive, man. Hey, it's Battle Royale, so I have to give up my pants.
Hey, but do you have to use the Switch online app to talk to people?
No, there's a thing called Discord. Very, very
innovative.
Good app.
Very innovative. Nintendo needs.
You can also do the chat through the game, but I'll tell you what, that community is very toxic in terms of chat.
Is there a Discord app on phones?
I don't think so.
Let us know. We won't look.
Because you could literally, we could just do that.
I mean,
probably an easier
or I can just call you. I mean, there's a reason why we have cellular service. A speakerphone? No, anyways. So PlayerUnknown's Battleground, I love it. Still in early access, but check it out.
The last segment, I think it's time for another of our special segments, second time here. The Casual Corner.
Ladies and gentlemen.
All right,
boys and girls. I did it.
Oh my gosh.
I beat Gargoyles.
Did you beat the Gargoyles?
I beat
the
Gargoyles. And Travis can testify.
Dark Souls.
Travis can testify. I became... So I asked Travis at the beginning when I first started playing, what's the point of me being hollow? I was like, I don't understand the point. Like, should I be human? Should I be hollow? He's like, in the first one, there's not that big of a difference. Like, what was it like?
In Dark Souls 1, being hollow or being human doesn't affect your health.
No.
But it affects your health in the other games. Like in Demon Souls, it takes away half your health. And in Dark Souls 2, the more you die, your health goes down, down, down. You can restore your humanity, become human again. In Dark Souls 1, it just changed how you look, but it also affects your ability to summon help. And
so I'm sitting there, and Travis kept walking like, why don't you just summon? And I'm like, dude, I don't have the item to summon. I can't summon yet. I don't know why. So I ended up using humanity on accident. On accident, I swear. And I went to a bonfire, and I was like, I'm going to restore my body. So I'm human, I run up there, and there's this section to summon somebody.
A little summon sign, yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. Travis! I screamed Travis. Travis walks in, we summon the sucker, and I went to town on these gargoyles.
You beat him on the first try.
Hey, first try, I didn't get touched once.
He has died against them so many times.
Now, you're an anti-summon person, but I am a pro-summon off.
Buzz off, save states. I'm going to summon the butt out of this game.
I'm not anti-summon. I just play the games like they're single player. I just don't summon. I'm not
You're not coming down on my victory today. I beat the Gargoyles. I sat there and I said, hey.
I'm going to have to join Casual Corner this week. I'm a summon guy.
Hey, I tell you right now, man, if you're not summoning in Dark Souls.
Whatever it takes to get through the game, just do it.
That's how I feel. Everything that I can use, I will use.
It's in the game. It's not...
I mean, I just couldn't believe, all this time, they were like, just summon.
So now what have you done since then?
Nothing. I've celebrated for a couple weeks now.
We had a party.
Actually,
a party.
There's a little part I did. So remember that part where I was like, hey, remember when I went downstairs? He's like, you can go down there. Yeah. I was like, okay. So I started at the bonfire where, what was it called? Undead Chasm, what was it called? Yeah. Can't remember the place. It's like the main bonfire you get to after you leave.
Firelink Shrine.
Yeah. So I went downstairs, and I went to this really dark, creepy place that has, water and crap. And there's ghosts you can't kill! I'm sitting there, so I'm like, oh, it's one of those games where I have to run through them. So I run, I'm running, I'm hustling. And I get trapped in a room with 6 of them. And I look around and I'm like, I can't get out. So I die right there on the spot.
Yeah.
So then I'm like...
That's not your next destination.
So I was like, well, that can't go that way. So I was like, the skeletons. I tried taking the skeletons out.
Okay.
Hey, when I first booted the game up, I was like, I was supposed to fight these skeletons. I couldn't kill them.
This is where I think Dark Souls 2 is better. In this way, there are 4 paths at the beginning of Dark Souls 2, and pretty much all of them are viable. Mm-hmm. In Dark Souls 1, there are 4 paths, and like 3 of them are not viable.
I can't find the 4th path. I went like north, I went south, I went east, I went west. I went west one time, I fell off the bridge. I don't know how to get past it. So I'm at the point where I'm like, I beat the gargoyles. I almost think I beat the game just from that.
Hey, game completed.
So
after you beat the gargoyles,
I will make some progress before the next podcast.
Next podcast.
But guys, it's over. I'm a happy man.
Well, I guess for me, I finished Dark Souls 2 because if you guys remember, I beat the game last time.
You beat the gargoyles?
I beat all of the DLC for Dark Souls 2, which big thumbs up. Scholars of the First Sin Edition. I highly recommend it. I love the game. So moving on past that, what else did I play? Crap. Okay. Okay. So Civilization 5. Never played a Civilization game. Had it on Steam for a while. I booted up, started playing it. Put in like 6-7 hours. I'm digging the game. It's cool. Like it's very deep. I'm building my civilization.
Is this the one you played, or you played Age of Empires?
Age of Empires.
I'm building things up,
is my game.
and then they're like, "Hey, your people don't have a religion, and they're starting to join the religion of the next country next to you. So you better figure that out." So I had to start developing religion, and it's fun. I didn't realize though, Civilization 5, the base game, because it gets talked up so much. Civilization 5. I didn't know the base game's actually not considered that good. A lot of people consider it kind of average. Mm-hmm. It's the DLC, I guess, that puts it over the top. So that I don't have the DLC. So I'm playing the game like, okay, this is good. I like this, but I don't quite know why people like fall head over heels in love with it. And I found out I don't have the DLC. Yeah. So I might be trying to add the DLC supplement.
When did Civ 5 come out?
I don't even know.
Okay.
I don't know. Like early 2010. Civ 6 just came out.
Oh, 6 came out?
So my understanding with the Civ games is that they'll come out and they won't be as good as the last one, but then they'll add a bunch of DLC, and then it becomes like amazing, and then they'll release
the
a new
DLC
one.
is the just kidding.
Yeah.
It's like just kidding.
Yeah, so my understanding is when Civ 5 came out, everyone was like, this is not as good as Civ 4, so everyone just kept playing Civ 4, and then they updated, and then everyone migrated to Civ 5, and they released Civ 6. So it's kind of like Windows, so they'll upgrade, there'll be a new one, but everybody's staying on Windows 7 because it's better than 8 or whatever. So that's my understanding. So Civ's cool.
What would you classify Civ as?
Civ is a turn-based civilization strategy game.
So
it is not real-time strategy.
So it's not like Age of Empires?
No, not at all.
Oh.
It is like top-down like that.
That's what I thought.
So basically, like you start the game and you've got a city, and it's like on a tile. Mm-hmm. And there's like all these tiles, right? Mm-hmm. And like some of them are like river or water or like mountains and stuff. So, and you can only see like your little region. So what you do is you send out explorers, and you send out, you make soldiers, and you can move them. So like you'll click where you want them to go, and it will take them turns to get there. So basically, like you can do everything in a turn, and then you end your turn, and then it simulates the other players who run their own countries, and then it starts back on you, and then you say what you want people to do again.
So can I play against you?
Yes. Multiplayer is huge in Civ. Like we could get 6 of us in a lobby, and we could have our own countries, and we could just like take turns.
I'm gonna make all your people follow my religion.
No, you can. You absolutely can. And like, there's a whole development tree. Like, I really emphasize developing like metalworking and stuff like that. But then my neighbors were like really like developing mathematics and stuff. So they were like more smart than me, but I had more machines. So then
you were like Athens.
Yeah. So it's cool. I see the potential for it. And
so tell me this: if I was like, hey Jacob, I want to play you in Age of Empires, would you prefer me to play you in Civ 5 or Age of Empires?
It's totally different things because Age of Empires, right? Get this. Age of Empires, we could sit in an hour and play a game, and you would conquer me or I would conquer you. Civ isn't like that. Civ, the games can end. You can set the win conditions to like after 600 turns or 1,000 turns or 1,500 turns. Or you can set the condition to first one to develop nuclear technology. or first one to go to space.
That's really cool.
Or first one to whatever. So you start at like prehistoric, like where you're like developing
really
clay, and you can set the win conditions. So we could have a game that we play for like months. And we open it back up and we play it like, once a week or once every couple of weeks. You wouldn't, so it's not like real-time strategy where like it's over in an hour.
I love strategy.
You
that
develop
would be fun
a civilization.
on iPhone. Is that like on iPhone?
I don't know. It might
that would be fun to pull out like, hey, I'm on the toilet.
It is kind of like Clash of Clans. Yeah.
So, Civ 5, I'm going to go.
Okay.
Hey, guys, it was nice seeing you.
He's going to buy it.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm going to go buy it right now.
Yeah, you're going to go buy it too.
Hey, can I have your wallet?
You know what?
I don't have money.
Yeah, you know what? I got a gift card. You know what? I'll go buy the DLC. Let's just go. I'll go buy the DLC.
Let's go buy it.
See you guys.
See you around.